Easy.
What?
Happy New Year, bro.
I know, man.
What do cows say on January the 1st? Happy Moo Year.
Oh, God.
How
Are we doing this again?
Yeah, we're going to do this again. How did Prince celebrate the new millennium? He partied like it was 1999.
1999.
What do criminals pay on January the 1st?
Penance?
New Year's restitutions.
Oh, God. That was terrible. That was terrible.
What was the Amityville priest resolution?
I don't know.
To exercise more.
These are getting worse. You're going to have to give me a good one.
What do you call someone named Steven on December 31st? New Year's Steve.
I can't even dignify a response for that one. I tell you one thing I am going to say, though. You're going to kick it.
Well, good afternoon, my fabulous internet dudes and babes. Welcome to our very new rotation around the sun. That's right, coming at you live and in person for the first time to say Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2022, a year that we hope to get the absolute most out of, to suck the very marrow from its bones.
We're going to make it our bitch.
I guess that's one way to put it, BZ. Welcome to this little thing we call Fraternize with These Guys. Brand new in 2022. I'm your humble host, Pastor Pinewood. Across from me, as always, with a new bounce in his step, a new hip to his hop, a very brand new year's BZ, the heathen.
All right, so
What was that?
Full disclosure. I got a little excited.
It looks like you hurt yourself.
Started doing a little wiggle, a little waggle, because I'm excited. We're doing some vidges.
Yeah, finally, if somebody on video sees you and you gotta immediately perform.
And then I smacked my friend. The old libation station got popped because we did a little adjustment to the doghouse.
Yes, and
for the videos.
It's a good adjustment.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed that we could not get a working television screen. What is going on over there?
So this TV has been through thick and thin. I've had this damn thing for probably 15 years.
Okay.
And
it looks like
it finally broke. So I've moved this thing 150 times.
I'm pretty sure since you moved in this house, it's been sitting in your room doing nothing.
No, I've moved it to like 15 different garage sales and couldn't get it offloaded.
Nice.
And then I actually had this hooked up and used when we were out at the market.
Oh, nice.
Not too long ago.
And it was working fine.
It worked fine then.
So maybe that demon child of yours
that probably was.
Hit it with something. And so our very first video, we have sub-performed a little bit. But anyway, here we are in the doghouse, rearranged a bit.
Yes.
And old BZ got to work and moved the libation station over there. And
tripped some breakers.
Took a while to get things situated. It's about 25 degrees outside.
Yes.
And this morning when we went to church, it was 9. So it was a bit chilly.
Just a wee boot nipply.
But it was nice. The day sun came out and got above freezing, so we didn't have any ice to worry about. So here we are making a new episode.
Woohoo!
So in 2022, we got some cool things coming. The first one is, as you can see, a little bit of video action. So if you're listening to this, go over on YouTube and like us, subscribe, all that good stuff, and share. Now, I will say, I'm not sure why anybody would want to watch us in person. I'm not sure why that would be a selling point at all.
Because now that I know we've got video,
right,
I'm going to throw an occasional nip slip.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised you got regalia on right now.
Well, to be fair.
It's only 25 degrees outside.
I have a radiator heater sitting next to me because it's a little chilly still.
So you got a heater and a shirt, but just a t-shirt because you're a champion.
Yes.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
I really didn't even want to have the t-shirt
Right.
on, but I was told I need to have a t-shirt.
Maybe next week.
Just coming off of the sickness, you might as well keep it at bay as long as possible.
Yeah, you guys had like Typhoid Mary going around in your house. What was the deal with that?
It was the baby was sick one week, then the wife got sick one week,
right,
and then the baby got sick again, and then finally, after 8 rounds, Rocky, I finally gave in. There's only so many body shots old BZ could take before my body's like, all right, dude, come on, just give it to us.
Your little immune system just couldn't hack it anymore.
It couldn't do it any longer.
14 rounds in, just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, couldn't do it any longer. So I finally have I'm on the mend
Fair.
again.
All
It feels
right.
like I've said that every episode we've done for the last 2 months.
Yeah, so like from September, we've been like hit and miss whether or not we're
Yeah.
healthy or not. I'll tell you who isn't healthy, and that's Betty White.
I know. Right at the end.
God rest her soul.
Right at the end. We had
I feel like we need a.
take a moment.
a moment.
Pull the things off. Yep.
All right, that's good enough.
'Kay.
But it felt like right at the end of the year, like we were gonna make it, like she was gonna make it, like 100 in just a couple of weeks, man, just a couple of weeks, and then
Yep. And I
No
tell
dice.
you what started it, and what her final straw was, is when 2021 took John Madden.
Oh, really? Her,
'Cause it
and,
was like
her and John
two-
Madden.
It was like 2 days before
Yeah, that's true.
John Madden died.
Don't you kind of feel bad for Madden? It's like John Madden dies, and everybody's like, "Oh, John Madden died."
Oh, Madden.
and then Betty White dies, and like, who's John Madden?
John Madden. Who the hell's that guy? Football. Nobody watches American football other than Americans.
Yeah, that's a good point. John Madden.
Everybody has seen the Golden Girls.
That's probably fair. I mean, there's probably a Golden Girls following in Japan. Probably
Oh, yeah.
not so much American football following.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I would err more towards the side of the Golden Girls.
Right. I'm willing to bet there's more people per capita everywhere else in the world that know Betty White versus John Madden.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I did look a couple of things about Betty White. And
Oh, yeah?
my favorite one was that she was married 3 times. Which
Really?
isn't, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
hell, she was 1,000 years old.
I was going to
so-
say you could get like 30 years out of each marriage and still be alive. But what I thought was hilarious was her first husband took her out of Los Angeles, drug her to a chicken farm, and they lasted 4 months.
Yeah.
And she was like, Nope, not having any of this. We got to get back.
I'm not doing this. I'm not at this barn on the farm. This is ridiculous.
It's hilarious that in the 40s, they're like, you want to come out and farm chickens? Sure, that'll be great. And like,
Awesome.
20 minutes later, they're like, this is a ginormous mistake.
See,
Why are we here?
I would have figured you said the 40s, and that was just a bad mistake anyways.
Oh, yeah, that's a fair point. But she will definitely be missed. Have you heard some of the conspiracy theories?
Yeah, so the producer, we were having dinner, and
Yes?
I didn't even realize this was a thing.
What, the conspiracies?
The conspiracy
Oh, yeah.
theories.
Of course they're going to be conspiracies.
And you guys were like, oh, yeah, you start talking. Enlighten us on some of these if you guys haven't listened to any of these.
So the one that makes the most sense to me that could be plausible is that she got a booster, like the vaccine booster, and then keeled over, and then nobody wants to talk about it because, of course, God forbid we question the
right.
vaccines. By the way, we're not questioning the vaccines, YouTube. Don't take us down.
Yeah.
And the other one is that she is possibly the queen.
Of England?
Yeah. Like it was her the whole time. Like, she was just in disguise.
Just the queen's understudy?
Well, the queen's understudy was the actual, what we think of as the queen, but Betty White was the
Right.
actual queen, and now the royal family is all in a tizzy.
Huh.
And then there's another one that you have, Maxwell being put in prison, and she's going to start releasing the names, and Betty White was like, nope, I'm out. So she's still alive. She's just in hiding.
She's on the island.
She was orchestrating the whole thing, man. Her name keeps coming up over and over and over again. So there's that one.
That was possible.
And then also that it's possible it's George Bush's wife's, Barbara Bush, it's her sister.
What?
I don't know. That one doesn't make any sense to me. But that is one that's been floating around.
Can't
out there.
that be just traced by doing some genealogy?
I would assume all of these could be debunked by doing that, minus the vaccination one. But again, we're not going to go there because we don't want to get taken off our first
Our very first
episode. That is going to be funny if we get scripted a little bit.
Shut
And banned. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Let's get out of our little BS segment, and I've really enjoyed all the things that Betty White brought to the world. She will be
Yes.
sorely missed, but we just keep on trucking and do some things in her honor this new year. All right, my friend. Before we get too far into the episode, how about we do a little on the wagon article?
Might as well.
A broken toilet on SpaceX capsule means astronauts will return to Earth in diapers. The journey back to Earth from space is never easy. With the astronauts aboard the SpaceX capsule coming home Monday, we'll have an extra challenge to deal with: no working toilet. The 4 members of SpaceX crew Dragon Endeavour will be wearing diapers as they splash down in order to prevent anything else from splashing down.
I will be 100% honest with you. If that is my only issue re-entering Earth's atmosphere,
Of course, yeah, that makes sense.
on a privately funded spacecraft.
All right. I mean, that's a fair point.
Hell, I wear a diaper going into space because I'm probably going to shit myself on the way up.
It's a good possibility that's going to happen, right? Now, this is interesting. The crew for the mission, known as Crew Number 2, which is
Yes!
They've been at the International Space Station since April, so they spent over 200 days in space. So they've been up there a bit.
Now, and I'm going to tell you right now, that was an inside joke from Elon.
It had to have been,
You
right?
know, he's like, okay, we need to mess with the toilet. We need to take the toilet down.
Just because they're called Number 2.
Number 2.
And as soon as they get back, they're like, who does Number 2 work for?
Who does
Me.
Number 2 work for?
So over the mission, these 200 days, they conducted a series of spacewalks installing solar panels to upgrade the power grid, and they grew the very first green chili pepper in space.
I mean, it's not a potato or anything, but...
No, but it is a New Mexican green chili, and those have a tendency to make you, go a little more. So-
Well, I can tell you right now, it wasn't a hatch green chili.
they
Because
said green
Elon
chili.
even Elon couldn't get the approval to get a hatch green chili up there in space.
I'll be honest with you, I've tried to grow hatch green chilies. They probably couldn't get one to grow. And they were like, well, apparently they can only grow them in hatch too, because we couldn't get one to happen. So that's a little on the wagon articles, and to cure the on the wagonness, let's get off the wagon and have a little libation.
All right. Libations!
Speaking of a segment that Betty White would approve of,
Oh, yeah.
libations.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining us for the first time, something that we do is we have a nice tasty libation every episode, different libation, and we will try it, talk about it a little bit, we give it a rating, and then we enjoy it through the remainder of the episode. It's just something we've done from the very beginning, and something we'll continue to do because, hey, not everybody gets to drink at their job, and we get to drink at our job.
Yes. So why not?
One of these days it'll be our full-time job. Beezy, what are we drinking today?
All right. So this was something that I've heard of.
Okay.
It was kind of like the Great White Buffalo.
Oh, really?
And I've never found it.
Ah,
And I just happened to stumble across it today. So I was
Okay.
like, yep, we're going to do it.
it's interesting.
So this is actually from Guinness, the Guinness Brewery. They're in Dublin.
Okay.
And this is the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. Now, I'm a huge coffee fan. You're just black. You like your coffee black.
That's right.
I like to
frills.
fruit it up a little bit on occasion. I'll drink it black in Colorado.
Okay, right.
If the mood dictates it, I'll drink it black. But most of the time, I'll do a little mocha, frappa, frou-frous.
You gotta, you gotta frill it up a little bit.
Put a little milk sugars up on it.
Okay.
Anything to cancel the taste of the coffee. So, being both coffee drinkers, I figured this would be a good one. I think this is the lowest ABV.
It is.
It's only 4%.
Okay, that's definitely down there. But, if you're gonna drink a coffee before you go to work, 4%.
4% is
sensible,
reasonable.
right? I mean,
I mean, you can't even blow
you can.
anything.
What?
You can't even. Blow.
What are you talking about?
Hang on, let me get this out first.
What kind of job do you have, man?
Well, it's on the corner.
Where is that in the job description?
I'm saying you couldn't blow an alcohol tester.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You couldn't
Before-
register. You couldn't register.
You couldn't register a blowy.
That's the word you're looking for.
Okay, fair enough. You wouldn't register if you blew.
I've done a lot of jobs, bro. At no point was that in the requirement section.
So
I feel like at 4% you could have one of these and go operate a crane and be okay.
I'm pretty sure
Probably not
people
going to
do
kill
this.
anybody. Oh, that's a good point.
That's why it's out there.
Okay.
That may be why Guinness is like 4%. That's not even a real percentage. So send it.
All right. So, anything else? What do they say about it?
So on Guinness's website, if you want to check it out, it's Guinness.com. Guinness.
Thank you for that.
And their description is: say hello to Guinness Nitro Cold Brew Coffee Beer. First, the aroma of rich coffee hits you. Next, the magical surge of nitro releasing hints of espresso, chocolate, and caramel. From the brewers that invented nitro beer, it might just be your new favorite part of the day. Please drink responsibly.
And I've said many times, I'm not a fan of any of the nitro brews.
I know, which
is too smooth for me, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't taste like beer.
I think that's why I like it, though.
Okay.
I like the nitro flavor, because you get a bunch of these that are overly carbonated.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that I don't like so much about some beers is just the overcarbonation of them.
Okay, well, let's cheers it, and we'll see what it's all about.
All right, then. Good God.
That's intense.
It's leaking.
Mine's not leaking quite as much as yours is. Dude, you can't even get yours on the table.
Jesus.
Did you shake up the wrong can?
Yeah, I was supposed to give this one to you.
Well, before we drink, let's do the good Lord, man, you're just dripping all over the place. It took me a minute to even get any liquid out of it.
Yep. I had a lot of head on it.
You're on a roll tonight, man.
Oh, man. Okay.
New rule, always have shop towels available.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, look at you.
Shop towel.
It has its benefits being in the doghouse.
In the doghouse does occasionally have its benefits. Oh, man.
Yeah, give me one of them things.
Yeah, here you go. You can use
No,
that.
I'll pass on that one.
Use that one.
I need it for my stash.
Yeah.
You got dust and all kinds of crap on
Here,
it.
I folded it. Gave you a little foldy fold.
Wow. Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah. I definitely get the coffee flavor of
Yeah,
it.
it's there. It's there, and it's not overly sweet. I was afraid it was going to be like one of those flavored coffee drinks.
Yeah, it's
super sweet.
It honestly just tastes like a Guinness to me. Maybe
Like
just a
touch of
slight,
coffee.
just slightly sweeter than just a regular Guinness,
Yeah.
which is fine with me
Yeah,
because
I
I like Guinness.
one of the questions, I guess, we have all these ratings for beers, and I don't know if I'd consider this a beer. It's different.
It's a baby beer.
Kinda. You could probably give this to your baby; they'd be fine.
Yep.
I don't
Stunt to growth.
It might a little bit. I'm glad it's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. It's definitely not carbonated at all.
Yeah.
It's got that nitro feel.
I think
Pretty
they
typical.
put a little extra shot of nitro in mine because that thing exploded.
Kind of took off there a little bit. So as far as a rating goes, I'm just going to put this right in the higher 60s. That's 67, somewhere in there, 68.
Okay.
Guinness for me, was a great beer in our past whenever we were trying to experiment and branch out and find new beers. And it was kind of like, oh, he's drinking the Guinness. And, I think for a while there it was like, gross, that's really not great. And then we evolve. But we went past it kind of like Shiner. And so it's just one of those experience beers. I'd drink it for sure. If I was at a party or something and they had it, I'd definitely take a swig or two. And I think it'd be great in the summer of an evening. Now, it's a little heavy, but like outside on the porch with a nice cigar, just kind of chilling, maybe in the fall even when it's cooler outside. I think it definitely has a place there.
I think it certainly has a place right before work.
trying to avoid the legal side of that. But yes, it tastes good. Probably tastes good in the morning.
I would assume so.
I've had coffee that tastes worse than that, I can guarantee.
Yeah.
I've had coffee that's probably more alcohol content in that because it's set out for 3 days and fermented it on itself.
It's been on the burn. You've burned burnt coffee.
Yeah. Gosh, have you ever done that? That's rough.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
All right, where you at?
Well, I think I'm going to go with a little bit higher than you. I'm going to go with a 78.
Okay. All right, so full 10 points, huh?
Yeah, 10-pointer. It is good. I do get the caramel, I get the chocolate, I get the coffee, I get everything that it says it's supposed to have.
You're right.
I don't like the fact that it's that low of an ABV.
Maybe that could kick it up a little
bit. If it had a little bit higher ABV, I think it would definitely get mid to high B.
Right. I'll tell you something else to consider is the Guinness, just the normal Guinness is not very high either.
No, I think it's
2 or something like that.
yeah, 4852 somewhere's in there.
Anyway, so it's just probably just a Guinness thing. So
Yeah.
even the extra stout, I think, is just 6.5 or something.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
We should have researched that.
Yeah, we probably should have.
Oh, well.
Let's get out of libations and we'll go to our next segment. And before we get there, let's take a moment to hear from our affiliates and our sponsors.
Cool.
Let's face it, men. That rambunctious stench that's been ruminating in your boxer shorts for most of the day isn't something to be proud of. And historically, that particular sweaty unpleasantness has just been a living hallmark of the hardworking man you are. Hi, I'm Beezy the Heathen, and this sad, sweaty sack next to me is Pastor Pinewood.
Hi.
And I gotta say, buddy, you smell like what crawls from a dead skunk's ass in summer. Now, I have already discovered the key to maintaining a glorious smelling undercarriage that, regardless of the rigors and toils of a strenuous workday, keeps me fresh and confident for hours. It's like 1,000 sweet smelling angels are gingerly caressing my most delicate man bits in my darkest of times.
Man, that sounds amazing. Because usually I just silently suffer until quitting time when I can get out of my sweat-drenched underwear and remove the fully baked medicated powder biscuits that have formed in my nether regions. Beezy, I want to be like you.
Don't worry, baby bird. Old Beezy is going to show you exactly how it's done. For a limited time, you and all of our listeners have exclusive access to a one-of-a-kind company that specializes in everything to keep that funk off your junk. I'm talking, of course, about Ballsy. Go to ballwash.com and peruse their scrotal sanctifications. There's the Ball Wash Body Wash for your pits and where you sits. The Ball Guard Liquid Powder to keep those ball biscuits that you struggle with from ever baking. And my personal favorite, the Nut Rub, which keeps your family jewels looking and smelling regal. With all these products and more, there's nothing standing in the way of you smelling, looking, and feeling absolutely amazing south of your equator. Head to ballwash.com and use promo code FWTG15 at checkout. You'll get 15% off your purchase. Hurry out and get it handled today. And Pinewood, trust me on this, your colleagues will thank you, your wife will thank you, and maybe most important of all, you will be forever thanked by your manly spunk bunkers.
Beezy, you're absolutely right. Ballsy is amazing. I'm so glad you turned me on to them and their products.
Hey, just wait until I tell you about the shampoo and deodorant so we can tackle that hot mess you got going up on the top half. Now visit ballwash.com today and save. Hey, Pinewood, what you drinking?
Well, I felt like something a little fruity, so I got me a mango IPA.
Get that crap out of here!
Hey, bro, what the French, man?
You gotta give this cocoa cocktail a try.
What is it, a cocoa connection?
Nah, bro, come on. It's Cocoa Cocktail. It's the newest craze in the seltzer game. It's a vitamin-infused, all-natural, non-GMO, spiked, sparkling coconut water. It's literally the future of alcohol.
Come on, man. The future of alcohol, that's a little heavy-handed.
Bro, I'm telling you, even the aliens are drinking this stuff.
You mean like the space
Like
lizards?
the space lizards? Oh, dude, you know what? We should totally stock up on this for the life ship.
Ooh.
I mean, the people are going to want a sweet, tasty beverage, eh?
But we gotta give the people what they want.
Gotta give them the best, bro.
Well, Hellfire, you won me over. Let me try that thing. Well, dang, son, that's delicious. I don't know why you had to use all those highfalutin flowery words, but that key lime seltzer speaks for itself.
Well, I tell you what's even better. All of our listeners get a banging discount when they order on Cocoa Cocktail's website.
Well, shoot, man, what's that website?
That website is www.cocococktail.com. That is COCOCOCKTAIL.com. And enter promo code FWTG7 when you order an 8-pack and FWTG12 when you order a 24-pack.
Do I get that discount when I order?
I mean, so long as you use the promo codes, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Do you think Cocoa Cocktails would send me that koozie?
Yeah, that's going to be a hard no, bro.
Cocoa Cocktail is an alcoholic beverage, and you must be 21 years old to enjoy, and please drink responsibly.
Now get on them interwebs and order you some, you plumpable some bitches, and cheers to your health.
Thanks for listening to the folks that support this show. We hope that you show them some love as well. Let's get right back into it with, hey, let me ask you something.
Let me ask you something.
My goal for that every time is to say it as white NPR as possible. And then with your ridiculous Scottish black man impersonation. Every time I listen to that, I'm like, why is there a Scottish accent in the middle of it?
I don't even know. I still drunk my own self.
So what we do for this segment is we just take two questions that we try to answer, and sometimes they're advice-oriented, and sometimes they're just general knowledge. And today we've got two, and one is advice, and the other one's just general knowledge.
Yeah.
And so hopefully you can take something out of it. Mm-hmm. First one is the advice question.
Okay.
That's it? I thought you were coming in with something really
profound.
No. Okay. All right.
No, nothing prophetic right now.
Yes. Question number one. Coming in from Andy, who's 36.
Now, is this our Andy?
Nope. This is an Andy we do not know.
Okay.
Anonymous Andy.
Anonymous Andy.
Anonymous Andy. But he did make a point to mention that he's 36.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's a he, so it wouldn't be ours. Our Andy's a she.
Oh, well then definitely not Andy.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so Andy says, I got a new girlfriend, but it turns out all of her previous boyfriends and her one husband are all dead. What should I do? Oh, Andy Dufresne.
I'll never forget the first time I met Andy Dufresne.
You definitely got a strange set of circumstances here. My first question is, how many are we talking?
How many prior boyfriends and a husband?
Like, look, if it was one boyfriend in her 20s, and then she got married like 10 years later, and then her husband tragically died, that's one thing. But if she's had 12 boyfriends and a husband in the last 3 years, and they've all mysteriously passed away.
Hang on. How old is she?
Okay, that's a fair point. Let's just give.
Was she Betty White's age?
No,
because if that's the case, then she's probably got some skeletons in her closet because she's only got a couple and one husband, a couple boyfriends dead and a husband dead. They just died of old age.
Yeah, apparently. But no. I don't think. Let's give the benefit of the doubt and say they're around the same age.
Around the same age. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So again, it has to come down to volume at this point.
Yeah.
So it just a couple, maybe not quite a red flag. I'd say if it's more than 3. Yeah, you got some issues there you need to work out.
I think more than one dead husband.
Well,
you have a dead husband. Was it circumstantial?
See, we don't know that. Andy didn't provide any of the details. He just said that her boyfriends, so plural boyfriends, and one husband they've already died.
So she's probably like a black widow.
It sounds that way.
So I don't like her already.
That sounds like a bad circumstance.
Andy, whatever you do, if she tells you to take out a life insurance policy, you need to pump the brakes on that relationship, bro.
That's a good point. So, don't take out any loans.
No.
Definitely make sure her name's on the house and the car also. You want this to be a joint venture, You don't want to take all the stuff out on yourself.
Yes.
And then, for sure, the life insurance policy, that's a big red flag.
Yeah, it doesn't get bigger than that.
Yeah, that's a great big one. Then also, I would be digging into how they died.
Yeah,
that'd be very interesting.
Multiple
query.
boyfriends I want to know, was it husband and then boyfriends?
I don't think so.
Boyfriend, husband.
He lists the
were
boyfriends
they all together at the same time.
Were they Mormons?
Could they have been Mormons?
No, because it would have been the reverse.
Oh, that's true.
So these have been like the California Mormons.
Okay.
So the ladies are like, well, I'm gonna have me a harem of men.
Have me a harem of men folk.
And then she gives them the Kool-Aid, and they all die. And then that's how they get boyfriends and the one husband.
So it's probably a cult.
Ooh.
A crazy cult where she's the leader.
Wow, a cult leader that's a female.
A female cult leader.
Don't hear about that very often.
You don't.
You do hear sometimes about the female number 2 in the cult.
Yeah.
Like you've heard about that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like the open source cult, and then that crazy one up in Wyoming.
Yeah.
So there was like the number 2 female, but they always had the male figurehead, right?
Right.
So maybe she was number 2, and she was tired of the figurehead, and so she just killed everybody. All of her boyfriends, the figurehead, everybody. And now she's in the hunt for a new figurehead.
Now she's the new in charge. Oh. She's the big swinging dick of the cult now.
Oh. So now
she killed everyone off.
You got a whole new dynamic. Okay, so there's 2 possibilities here.
Okay.
Andy is either the new subordinate member of the cult. He's the first member of the new cult.
Okay.
Or he's the new figurehead, and she has chosen him.
Ooh.
So he's like the head honcho now, so he gets to make his own cult.
Don't piss her off.
And in that case, keep her happy.
Yes.
And you get a cult.
And you get a cult.
I mean,
How
what
cool is
could
that?
possibly go wrong? Have you seen how cults end? It's usually pretty good.
I mean, you very rarely see FBI raids.
Rarely is it in a ball of flames. I mean, it just doesn't happen all that much.
I mean, and only once has it been Kool-Aid.
And up until that point, you got women and money and all kinds of good stuff.
And everybody that joins your cult is giving you their money.
Yeah,
you literally do nothing for it.
And they're going to worship you. All you got to do is play some groovy tunes on a guitar and, preach a sermon once a week. I could teach you how to do that, Andy. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I say run with it. Join the cult, bro.
Do it, Lars.
All right, Andy, we've given you plenty of good advice this week. So
That's
go
a
out
great
there,
one.
take your girlfriend by the hand, start that new cult, and don't worry about those skeletons in her closet, and don't take out a life insurance policy.
And try not to be one of those skeletons that winds up in her closet.
Avoid the same fate, young Skywalker. All right, let's go on to question number 2. And I think question number 2 is a general question for everybody that comes in from one of our esteemed colleagues.
It does. So, and this was something that I was not aware of.
What?
That we could give ourselves our own names.
I thought we already had our names.
I mean, we've got our names.
Okay.
But he sent us 2 emails.
Who's he?
Well, it was originally the infamous Panda.
Oh, okay. So, Dave himself?
Dave himself.
Okay.
And then he follows another email up with the unscrupulous Panda.
Oh, he's kind of working his way up in the world.
Making his way up that cult chain.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Panda, we've been needing to talk to you about our buddy Andy.
Andy's got a deal for you, sir. It only cost you everything that you've ever had.
Everything you got. But he emailed in a question, and the first one was actually just kind of a, hey, here's some advice.
Right.
And he says, the infamous Panda says, I think you should consider changing your names to Shirtless the Scat Man.
That's for you, I take it.
For me.
Okay.
Which is weird because I got a shirt on
Shirtless the Scat Man. All right.
And then I'm going to see if I can get through this without losing it because this is great. Nobody.
You got to get there, bro. We're on camera. We can't edit this crap out.
Bitter beer, the pulpit slayer.
Bitter beer, the pulpit slayer. Is that a knock on IPAs?
It has to be. Oh my God, that is awesome.
Bitter beer,
the pulpit slayer.
All right. Well, Danny, I'm going to need you to work on a shirt. The bitter beer, the pulpit slayer for sure.
Yeah,
it's
it needs
pretty
to be
good.
kind of like WWF themed.
Nice. I could get behind that.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway,
What's Dave's question?
Panda's question is, if dino nuggets are made of chicken and chicken are descendants of dinosaurs, are dino nuggets shaped like the actual meat they are made of?
Okay. All right, let's hash it out just quickly.
Okay.
So I have chickens,
Okay.
and they're like little Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
Right.
It's like little raptors.
Yep.
And they will flat demolish anything that's alive that is smaller than them. They'll go to town.
They're
right?
ruthless little buggers.
They are ruthless. And, they got that eye that looks out sideways. They're always looking for something to kill.
Clever girl.
Clever girls. And so if they're descendants from dinosaurs, which I very much could get behind, wouldn't it make sense that the meat would be somewhat similar?
Well, it is.
Because
Everything tastes like chicken.
fair point. It's a fair point, sir.
And so basically, now we've got everything just tastes like dinosaurs.
Okay, I'm down with
Just
that.
make a dinosaur pita.
A dinosaur pita. So what you're saying is the dinosaur-shaped nuggets is actually revealing a truth about the world that we didn't know we needed to know.
Yeah. That's very well what he is saying.
It's pretty heavy there, Panda.
Yeah. I mean, you sit back and think, you're like, dang, man.
What if you developed a cult around Dino Nuggets?
Dino Nuggets.
That's how you get in. You get an offering of Dino Nuggets to the Dino God and Goddess, and then I don't know what they give you, but something in return.
Barbecue sauce. You get to pick your dipping sauce.
Now, look, I don't have a chillins, so I've never tried one of these Dino Nuggets.
I have.
Okay, I'm sure you have. So
I had them before. I tried them before I had the kid.
you just bought them for the
I
hell
saw
of it.
Dino Nuggets. I was like, holy shit, look at that. They're shaped like little dinosaurs. I kind of want to eat a little T-Rex head.
And how was it? I can't imagine them being
It
great.
just tastes like dinosaur.
All right, fair point. All right, let's get out of this. Hey, let me ask you something, and hope you guys got some good insight and pearls of wisdom out of that
Pearls.
time.
Pearls of wisdom.
I thought you were going a whole another direction with that.
Nope.
Glad you didn't. Let's go on to Cinemize. Cinemize with these guys is another email question that we got.
It is.
Or maybe not question, but
Topic.
an advice piece.
Yeah.
All right, so who is it coming in from?
Well, this Cinemize is being supplied by the one, the uno, Nicoleo Leo.
oh, nice.
Yes.
All right. So good to hear from her. And I think she sent it in a while ago, but because of our recording schedule, we're
Yep.
just now kind of getting to it.
Just getting to it.
I don't know why it was so hard to say that.
It took a
was.
while for you to get to it.
It really was.
So her email says, Hola, tengo un tema de Cinemize para la próxima vez que lo necesita. Mejores comidas de terror. Algunos de mis favoritos son Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Ready or Not, and Happy Death Day.
Was there a horse in there?
There may have been. There may have been. I can't be for certain. But
So she wrote it all out in Spanish just for you?
she wrote it in Spanish just for me.
Wow, did she translate it for me?
No, yeah, she did.
That's good.
I mean,
'cause
I'm the translator, so I'll
okay.
translate it for you.
I appreciate
Basically,
that.
she said, "Hello,
Hola.
hola.
Hey, I got that one.
I have a cinemized topic for the next time you need one. Best horror comedies. Some of my favorites are Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Ready or Not, and Happy Death Day."
Interesting. You know what's really funny about Happy Death Day? I had no idea what that was. I was still in Albuquerque at the time. She told me about it, and I was like, I've never seen that. She was like, oh, that's crazy. And then she brought it to me,
Okay.
and I still have it. Like, it's been like 2 years since I moved back from Albuquerque. I still have that DVD. So, Nicole, I'm sorry. I will. I'll mail that back to you at some point.
Just a terrible friend. You're the kind of peoples that I don't allow to borrow any of my stuff. That's why everything I own now does not get borrowed out.
I borrow crap from you all the time.
I know, and I never get it back.
Well, you don't know that I borrow it, but I do borrow a bunch of stuff. Have you seen Happy Death Day?
I have not.
It's not bad. It's definitely worth the watch. It's one of these goofy kind of slasher comedy horror flicks.
Right.
Definitely lives up to its title, and it's good. It's worth a watch.
Now, I have seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Now, see, I had not seen that one.
Love that
Okay.
movie, dude.
All right.
It is brilliant.
Okay. And I had not seen Ready or Not either. And,
Yeah,
and
I
I've
don't
not
even
even
know
heard
that
about
about.
it. So I don't know. I'll have to watch that one at some point. The horror genre for me, it's not something I gravitate towards anyway.
Sure.
And I'm definitely not going to gravitate towards like humorous horror films. Like, well, that sounds terrible. Why would I watch that?
Well, we've discussed this many times, but
Kinda.
the vast majority of horror movies,
Yes.
I consider those comedies anyways.
That's fair.
Just because they're just over the top ridiculous. There's always going to be some dumb white blonde chick who trips and falls running through the
Right.
forest barefoot.
Of course. The black
She
man's
gonna
got to die first.
Black man's always going to die first.
Yes.
It's just everybody knows the rules.
It's true.
They're all just pretty bad, but Tucker and Dale is pretty funny.
Okay.
I did like that one.
All right.
I would say, would you consider Zombieland?
I think for sure. I don't think for any scope of the imagination that is a serious film.
Right,
it's
right.
definitely comedic in value.
Sure.
And definitely the zombie theme, I think, qualifies. So
Right.
I'd put it in that camp for
Shaun
sure.
of the Dead.
Yes, definitely Shaun of the Dead.
That's
One of my favorites.
Great movie right there.
Yep, one of the absolute best parody movies.
Another one that I kind of thought for the time could have been considered a horror
Okay.
comedy, maybe.
Okay.
But Ghostbusters.
Maybe
'Cause
so.
They had a couple of them ghouls that popped up in that show. You're like, dang.
Well, I remember
That's
watching
freaky
it
deaky.
when I was little.
Yeah.
And being a little freaked out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to watch that in the dark. I do remember that. So, yeah, I'll go with you there.
And then, I guess, again, Arachnophobia.
Oh, yeah, it's a great one.
I think that one is a great. There is some really good comedic moments in that movie.
For sure.
John Goodman.
Yeah. John. Yeah, he makes that, especially that part of the movie where he just
Yes.
kind of pops up and you're like, oh my God, is that
John
John
Goodman?
Yeah, and then he gets eaten in the, it's just good.
Yeah,
It's just really
great,
good.
great stuff. Great
Yeah,
stuff.
I would put Rocky Horror Picture Show in there as far as comedic horror. It's definitely not. It's really not either because it's not a horror film. It's really more of a rock comedy. But I'd throw it in there. I'd put Repo.
Repo the Genetic Opera.
Yeah, I'd put that on in
Okay.
there. It's not overly funny, but it definitely has its moments.
It has some pretty graphic horror scenes.
Yes,
in
it
there.
does. But if you go into it with the idea of this is just a kind of a spoof
Musical?
of, yes, it definitely humorous. My favorite humor or horror comedy is Cabin Fever. It's one of my
I don't think I've
favorite
seen that
horror
one.
movies. It's so good. These guys go off into a cabin in the woods, and of course it's like the three couples. So you got the hot bimbo blondes, and you got the the gruff dudes.
Sure,
So they all get this skin rotting disease, and the turns out that at the very beginning of the show they had a competition who could not drink any water and only drink beer. And so the guy who wins, because he doesn't drink any of the bad water, he just drinks beer the whole time, and that's how
Oh,
he gets
nice.
through and doesn't get infected. So
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
the
good.
moral of the story. is just drink beer.
And there's some great racial humor at the very beginning, at the very end, and they tie the whole movie together. It's beautiful. It's beautifully done. Terrible movie. And I can't go on without saying the original Scary Movie. That was such a great spoof film.
Yeah.
And of course they got ridiculous because they made like 800 of them. But,
Yeah. And
that,
then they spun off everything.
yes, they did. That very first one was just fantastic.
Because you think when the spoof movies, it was really kind of our generation kind of growing up.
I think
Because
so.
we had, I think really the big ones were the Naked Guns.
Right?
And then there really wasn't a whole lot of spoof movies that I can think of other than that. And then you had the Hot Shots Part Deuce.
Yep.
And then
Airplane.
you started getting the Airplane, and then it started into the scary movies.
Right.
And now there's just an ungodly amount of those spoof
Yes, there
movies.
is. And when we were doing some of our research, I use that very lightly. There is a movie that spoofs the Twilight movies. You know, the vampire movies?
Yeah.
It's called Taint Light.
Oh, I bet it's better. Oh, Taint Light.
Oh, gracious. All right. So if you're out there and you got some recommendations for us on the scary movies that are also humorous, drop us a line.
Yeah.
Go over to the Facebook page at Fraternize with These Guys podcast, and also the Cult of the Life Shippers. That's a private group. You can join up over there, and we'll banter back and forth with you at any point.
Yep.
And we'd love to have you over there. Let's get out of Cinemize with These Guys, and we'll go right into a little Thinky Blinders.
All right, then. Thank you, Blinders.
No cigar, no lighter, no nothing this time.
No, that's good because you've shanked it the last couple.
It's true. That is true.
I think the last episode you hit the blowtorch like 8 times and then finally lit it.
Yeah, I don't think it ever did light. I think it finally threw it across the room. It's tired of it. All right, so Thank You Blinders is just that, blind questions that old Beezy and I have for each other. On the questions originally, the first 2 that we have in the advice section, we banter about those a little bit beforehand so we know what's coming, know what's going on. These questions are blind to both of us, so I'm going to have a question first.
Okay.
Because it's kind of on the nose and not that exciting, and we'll see what old Beezy comes up with. So, 2-part question for mine.
Okay.
First part, have you ever made a resolution for the new year that you actually kept for an extended period of time?
No.
Just no thought, no nothing.
Yeah, I don't do them.
Just no interest.
Just no interest in doing those.
Your whole life, you've never done one.
Nope.
Wow.
Just had no drive.
I believe that.
Had no drive. And it's, I mean, if I were to sit down and make a resolution, I
Right.
would probably stick to it.
Okay.
But
You just don't.
I'm just going to procrastinate to the point where I'm like, oh, man, it's the 3rd of January. I should have probably done a resolution like 3 days ago.
So Beezy's kind of a come what will kind of
Yep.
a dude.
Just do it. just do it when it happens.
All right, fair enough. Well, part 2 of that question maybe not be applicable, but if you had to make one today,
Okay.
what would you do and could you keep it?
I'll go ahead right now. I'll make a New Year's resolution
Okay.
to go through this next year and continue working on the podcast.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. It'd be pretty boring if it was just me reading questions to nobody.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like I can go for the year. I might give it the whole year.
Okay. All right.
We'll see if I can go the whole year
Well,
with
we're on
actually
track
sticking to it.
till next December.
Yeah.
So we got 1 year left
Yeah.
to decide if we can keep going, because at that point, it's out of our hands.
Yeah.
You know, it's somebody else's decision at that point.
Let go and let God.
Let go and let wives.
Yeah, that too.
All right, man. What do you got for me, sir?
Okay. Now this one's I'm gonna put you in a scenario.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. $10 million right here on the table.
Okay.
It's yours if you want it.
I definitely want it.
Here's the catch.
Okay.
There is a snail that chases you for the rest of your life. And if it touches you, you die terrible, agonizing death.
A snail?
A snail. The snail cannot be killed, and it knows your location at all time, 24/7, 365. And its only purpose is to find and hunt you.
So its purpose in life is to touch me.
Yes. Its purpose is to touch you. Boop. Try to snatch it.
Okay. How is this, other than the hypersonic honing system it's got, does it have any other special abilities?
No. Just a snail, man.
How far away does he start?
It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't matter. He's moving towards you.
Can
Continuously.
I throw him? Can I
No,
hit
because
him
it
with
touched you.
Well, but if I hit him with a bat or something.
You can't indirectly touch it either.
So no golf club.
No golf clubs.
Wow. So I got to constantly be moving?
You have to move away from it.
What if I'm sleeping?
You better get a mobile bed.
Just a bed that goes back and forth like one of those swinging beds. Hey, $10 million, I can afford a really fancy swinging bed.
I agree.
Probably afford a bed that moves.
Yeah, you can get a little Baba Yaga house with little chicken feet and walk around while you're sleeping.
I'll put the bed on the back of the truck, the helipad.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
right. We just
drive.
Hire me a driver and we'll just chuck on down the road for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like it's one of those things that you're like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Like, no problem.
30 years down the road, you're going to get complacent.
Not even 30 years. Not me. Like 6
2
months
years.
from now, I'm going to be like, oh, shoot, I forgot.
What the son of a bitch? A snail's right here.
It's like, where did it come from? I'd name it like Frank or something to be like, Frank, God, you're always in my business. I'm trying to have a meeting over here, trying to do a podcast. Now, can he climb?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, because snails can climb, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's an interesting conundrum.
Uh-huh.
All right, so I'm gonna go with no snail. I'm gonna
No snail.
I'm gonna leave the money on the table and just live my life. with
Really?
no snail.
Okay.
it sounds too much for me. Like, I don't even like taking care of my chickens every day. I don't want to have to worry about a snail that's going to come get me at all hours of the day and night.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it.
See, I figured $10 million, I could come up with a house made of salt.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, if you could block it in some way.
I feel like, I mean,
but it's just
maybe
your whole life from now on. It's just like you and your nemesis, the snail. You're gonna be like Jon Stewart or Jimmy Stewart in Vertigo. You're just losing your dang mind all the time.
Where's the snail at?
I don't know, man. Nah, I'll make my own money.
Make your 10 millions elsewhere?
Yeah, probably not, but I'll try, and I'll have to worry about that snail.
Be 100 air, dude.
100 air. Hey, man, I'm almost 1,000 air. Woo! Almost, but no snail from me.
Okay, well, I figured you'd have gone with it. $10 million, you can buy a lot of salt.
That's true. That's a good point. I mean, it's an interesting conundrum, but for peace of mind, I'm going no snail.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
All right, let's do a little Pastor and the Heathen.
Cool.
The Pastor and the Heathen.
Pastor and the Heathen is just that. We have a series of questions that we ask, and you usually get two very different responses.
Yeah.
So one from the heathen perspective and the other from a more pastoral point of view. And I think old Beezy's coming in with our question this week.
Coming in hot.
You got a weird look in your eye, so it scares me a little bit.
Can a Christian get blackout drunk on New Year's Eve without sinning? Asking for a friend.
Okay. What can a Christian
Get blackout drunk on New Year's Eve without sinning?
Okay, so my immediate answer is probably not. That's going to go against a couple of different edicts. But the feel of the question, I think, deserves a little bit of devolution, if you will.
Okay.
What's your answer?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Just do it.
Just
big
do
guy.
it. Just do it.
Just do it, man.
Just do it. It's no big deal.
I mean, you can ask for forgiveness. Who cares?
Just Nike that crap. Just do it. It'll be fine.
He's big on forgiveness, that guy.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. So look, blackout drunk, you obviously crossed a threshold, right?
Allegedly.
And so the talk around the water, around the coffee pot, around the water pot,
The watering hole?
whatever. There's a drunken level that you have to get to in order to quote unquote sin. So here's the question I have, and I've always thought about it kind of like this. Whenever the New Testament, especially the New Testament, says don't drink to drunkenness or don't be a drunkard, does that mean that you're not allowed? And I hate to use that word. Dang, kind of going to town there on that.
Well, all this talk about drinking.
That you're allowed a really,
Throw
bro?
my beer away.
First video, you throwing your beer in the trash can across the room.
I like to keep the space clean.
Did you make it at least?
I did.
Nicely done.
Kobe'd that shit.
All right. So, the question: drunkenness and or drunkard. Does that mean that you can't cross the line one time, or 2 or 3 times scattered about the year?
Every year on the same day.
Okay. My point is, where does the sin occur? And as a Christian person, I kind of go back to, if it's not a habit that is destructive to your daily life and your daily relationship with God, I'm not sure I'm going to consider that sinful. Because I've taken it too far, even as a pastor. Go to a party or a wedding or something like that.
My house.
Yeah, well, yeah, that happens from time to time too. But you leave and you think, man, I went like one beer too much, right? I'm not sure that's a sinful act, because then now we're drawing straws. Now it's like, well, you're not wearing your tassels, your beard's not cut the same way, your hair's not the right length, you're wearing hats in church, you're not wearing hats in church.
No squiggly digglies.
No squiggly digglies. Like, where's the sin at? Now we're going back to the law. So in my opinion, it's more like is it sinful for you to do that? Probably in the moment, yes. But if you overdo it a couple times, is that a sinful behavior that's endemic in your life, or is it just something that happened once?
Okay.
But you don't care. You're like, whatever.
Hey,
Every night.
he's pretty big on forgiveness. from what I hear.
If you're getting blackout drunk every night, bro, you got some problem.
I can't afford to do that every night.
That's true. If you're drinking like Skull or something. Was it on here where we were talking about my friend in college that would do shots of vodka every night? Like 28 shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough day.
Jeez.
It's a rough next day. It gets harder too.
Yeah.
Older you get, those day afters become a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna dial it back and say if it happens one night a year, you're probably doing okay. Your relationship's all right. But man, if you're doing it on a regular basis, you probably need to get some help on that.
I mean, just the 12 months of Christmas, just once a month.
12 months? 12 months of Christmas?
Yeah, just do it once a month. You get 12 months in the year, once a month, you're okay.
It'd be funny if in July, you're one day to get drunk. You're like, I'm celebrating Christmas.
They have Christmas in July.
I guess they do. Whereas, man, the pastor has lost his mind.
We're trying to build houses and shit, and he is on the way.
It's like, man, Beezy said I could do this, so I'm doing it. Beezy's the authority, apparently.
I'll take it.
Well, hey, man, good episode, number 53.
Yes.
And no, 54.
54.
And, last episode we kind of skipped, but we also released our special release.
Well, ish. Special release-ish.
We're a little fuzzy today. We've been out of the studio for a bit. So.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I had to clean a lot today.
Yeah, that's true. It looks good in here, man, minus the broken television.
Well, that's one of them things that'll happen.
I do like the freaky deer horns you got coming up over the top of the television.
he's going to poke up and say hello in a bit.
Let's get out of here. Let's do a little update so we can close our episode.
Cool. I got some news updates for you today.
Every time. Now it's on camera. People get to see your hilarity in person. I don't know if they're going to enjoy it as much as I do.
Nah, I'll be all right.
All right. Well, just so you guys know, for updates this week, we're changing formats. We've got video going now, and it's just one video for now, or one camera angle for now, but hopefully we got two coming up within the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
Got a little video switcher action, and what we're going to try to do is we'll do 2 episodes in the doghouse, and we'll do 2 episodes at the farm.
The barn at the farm.
And so I'll travel once a month, Beezy will travel once a month, and that will alleviate hopefully alleviate some of our time constraints.
Yes.
So that's what we're planning on going forward. Go over to YouTube and hit like and subscribe if you're a long-term listener, and it's just another way for you to support us and, put it on the background. Even if you're not listening to it, helps us. We'll have to build that channel from the ground up, and so everybody else has got a year on us, as far as the other platforms go, so we need to get YouTube kind of caught up. It's kind of like our struggling children, back behind there. But
the black sheep.
if you do like what we're doing and you'd like to support us further, you can go over to Patreon at FWTG Podcast and support us there. There are 3 tiers, but really only 2 tiers that matter. Our Hidden Brethren tier and the Life Shippers tier. And that will get you access to a brand new, every month, secret episode called The Hidden Revival. And it's a lot of fun. We actually released a sample of that last week.
Yes.
So that's episode 53. You can go listen to that one for free. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. And
He's a poet. You didn't even know it.
Check out what we're doing on Patreon. And we would love to have your support so we can get more equipment to record with and blah, 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 and travel
Another
with.
TV.
Another TV. We're going to have to work on that for sure. That looks absolutely terrible. But I'm glad it's there. It's a little ambiance.
I didn't even realize it was broken until today. So.
It happens. It happens. Go over to Facebook. You can join our Facebook group, Cult of the Life Shippers, and that is an excellent place for you to get to know us and communicate with us. Basically, we just share a bunch of memes and all the updates for the episode. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And then head over to TikTok. We're trying to do some more stuff on there. Can't promise it's going to be every week or even every other week, but we'll do it every once in a while. It's fun.
Yeah, just keep your appetite wet.
And I will definitely say, be careful with TikTok. It will consume your life. It is such a time suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to say also, real quick before we go, stay tuned for more permanent sponsors coming up. They're going to be changing in the next couple of weeks. We're going to kind of try to solidify our paid sponsors that are supporting the show. We want to let you know that they're supporting us so you guys can go and support them just to show them a little bit of love. And we really appreciate those guys, and we appreciate y'all for listening. Thanks to everyone that takes the time to listen and enjoy the show. We would love for you to give us a review on all of your podcasting platforms, as well as on our website, www.fwtgpodcast.com. By the way, I heard a guy today on another podcast. It's a very educated gentleman. He's got like 2 PhDs. And he said www in front of his website. So I feel that is the proper way to do it. If double PhD guy
You can have 2 PhDs and still
be
be an idiot.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I liked him. I thought he was smart. So
Okay.
anyway, but that's where you go, fwtgpodcast.com. And just know that every little bit helps. If you can send in articles to us, not articles. Well, I guess you could
Articles.
if you got good articles.
Yeah.
But send in us any kind of voicemails, that sort of thing. We'd really appreciate it. And I guess that's all I've got. Thank you to our listeners. And last but not least, thank you to our wives for allowing us to
Yes.
do this and continue. And I'm going to turn it over to old Beezy, and we'll sign off and get out of here.
Well, let's ponder this first.
Oh, we're going to do that first?
Yeah.
All right, let's ponder this.
Ponder this. Making a plant illegal is like saying God was wrong. However, making a plant illegal was one of the first things God did for man.
Oh, that's true. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, this has been episode 53. No, 50. 54, whatever. 54.
Yeah.
54 of Fraternize with these
Something like
guys. I'm Beezy the Heathen.
Pastor Pinewood.
Remember, when going into this new year, resolutions are for quitters. So just stay comfortable, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Dude, good first video episode.
Yeah, I liked it, man.
You know what it makes me want to do? Tell you some more jokes.
I hate your face.
Did you hear about the guy who started fixing breakfast at midnight on December the 31st?
No.
He wanted to make a New Year's toast.
Oh, my God.
Why should you stand on your left foot during the New Year's Eve countdown? So you start the new year on the right foot. All right, I got 2 more for you. Where can you practice multiplication tables on New Year's Eve? Well, Times Square, duh.
Oh, boy.
All right, and I got 1 more just for Beezy. Beezy loves whenever they drop the ball in Times Square because it's a nice reminder of what he did all year long.
All right, fine then. I'm going to do one.
Oh, you got one?
I got one for you.
What?
What do you use in the bathroom on January 1st after number 2?
I don't know.
A New Year's bidet.
You think that's what the astronauts used whenever they got back?
No, didn't have it. Plumbing was broke.
No, when they got back. Cheers, my friend.
Yes.
All empty.